Alright, so I can't remember this cat's name. This guy, the foreman of the yard over here, is a genius. He's so good, so nice. He told me yesterday, I was asking him if he had any advice on getting this prop off, and he told me to get this stuff. Kano.
Croil, he was calling it.
Croil. Yeah, Croil. And we put it on there, let it set overnight, and I already broke it, so this is like for TV, but we put it on here. I got it propped up.
Tell him that.
I got it propped up, you know, so that's arresting it. And then come back over here. So that's, you know, that's keeping us from turning, you know, and but it broke with very little effort. Did not take me much.
Such a Hulk.
So, no, it's that mixture of stuff, man. So now we're gonna see if we can maneuver this prop out without dropping the rudder, which would be a real bummer. Come here, Steady. So now we can get rid of our setup though. With the Pet Boys, got this puller, 3-armed. We're gonna see if it works.
You have enough room?
I don't know.
You want to put that arrestor underneath it again so you don't have to hold it? Remember?
Yeah, maybe.
Put those blocks under there.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Yeah, put it on this side?
Can't do it on that side. They gotta do it
Oh,
on
yeah.
this side. Pop, and there it is. $40, Pet Boys. Our friend John Conway he went and got all his gear, pulley pullers and stuff, but none of them fit, so we had to go pick one up.
Yeah, they were all like two-sided ones for motorcycle gears and yeah, 3-arm.
Alright, now the real trick is to see if we can actually get this off, which is gonna be,
I'm gonna guess yes.
I don't know.
I bet you we can. I see enough. Well, maybe there's not enough space.
Here's our little sleeve, which we want to hold on to.
Bloop.
Now we're gonna take this down to the salvage place and see if they have one that's similar to it right now. Good morning from the boatyard. We had a wild night last night. The winds picked up in the middle of the night. They must have started around 1 or 2, but around 4 a.m. they were blowing 32 knots, and it was screaming outside. I was actually like more worried about being on sticks in that kind of wind than I would have been in the water. Mostly probably because this is the first time I've ever been on the hard and on a boat. But yeah, it was like really screaming out there. Got up, checked things out, everything was fine. And it's still blowing, it's gonna rain now, which kind of slows us down for the day. But me and Mr. Steady are about to go to the Propeller, Valley Propeller, I think is the name of it, prop shop near here, and see if they have a used prop that'll work for our boat. And we need something to get us home. Our prop is in a bad way. So that's the plan. We went out last night with some new friends, John Conway and his girlfriend Alana. And he has a Beneteau 40 that's here in the yard as well. But we had communicated online for a while before that. And we just happened to be hauled out at the same time. But we went out to dinner and then ended up at a tiki bar, and Camille's really feeling it back there this morning. which is funny to me. Yeah, she's feeling those tiki drinks.
This is why I drink beer.
So, me and the Hound are gonna try to go see if we can sort out this prop situation. And other than that, the schedule for today is kind of like, well, I guess the rain kind of changes things a little bit, but, and I can also, if I can get the shaft out today, then I can do the PSS shaft as well. So, time to go check out this prop shop. So, and what's y'all's names?
I'm Brian, and this is Gabrielle.
You putting me on here?
So I had to get a new prop. Everybody at the boatyard spoke very highly of Valley Prop. That's the name of your company, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about what we're doing here, and what it's gonna do for us. So so here's our old prop.
It's an old cast propeller, cast in sand, guy with the grinder finish.
And then can we talk about what happened here? Why this happened?
That is corrosion. That's electrolysis in a propeller. Now, electrolysis, as you stated, the boat had no zincs for a number of years before you bought it. So zinc is, you've got electricity in the water, and when electricity attacks, it always goes to the weaker metal. So if you had zincs, it would eat the zincs. But it didn't have zinc, so it ate the bronze, and the bronze gets turned. It's robbing the molecules from the stainless. It's robbing from here, so it's taking it away. So it turned it to copper oxide, and it became brittle.
Yeah, very brittle, right? And you were telling me about the pink color, right?
The pink is turning it from bronze to a copper oxide. A copper oxide is a brittle metal. It's no good.
Yeah, and that's telltale, right? Then
Right.
I guess
Once
you would
see the pink, you're like, okay.
Here we go.
Bronze is a cake batter, if you will. They mix up a bunch of metals to make that. So as it starts taking away the higher or the lower content metals, the stronger it does, and it attacks it, and it changes the molecular structure to copper oxide. So if we keep up on zincs, it never turns pink, in a perfect world. So we have to keep our eyes on things.
Yeah.
An eyebrow propeller, this is nickel, bronze, aluminum. This is a higher tensile. Not only is it a higher tensile, but it's cut out with a computer. It's a variable pitch. So it has more thrust. The next discussion we have is our propeller was not allowing our motor to achieve full horsepower, 20 horsepower at 3,600. This will allow us to achieve 3,600. It should improve the fuel burn, which you're going to document and tell me the difference. And if it doesn't, I want to know.
Yeah, well, he said they're being so sweet. They're like, we can check everything out, and if we're not happy, we can pull it off and bring it back clean and shiny. And he'll switch it out for us and we'll get the right thing. But
but we're going to fill out that test sheet.
Yeah, we have a test sheet, all the info.
It's going to go through all the things. It even tells us miles per hour, gallons per hour, miles per gallon. So that's our test sheet, because if we're making a purchase, the idea is to make a purchase that's better.
Yeah.
So
and then so obviously this was not the original prop, because there was it's a sleeve, is that what it's called, right?
Yeah, sleeve, bushing.
So our shaft is 7/8, and like contemporary props are 1 inch, I guess. So this is our bushing.
Everything from the 80s switched over to 1 inch. Manufacturing used to have everything, but they had to narrow it down and set regulations, because with inventories and having boring and all that extra money, it got too ridiculous. So in the 80s, they said, let's bring this down.
Standardize it, right? Okay, that makes
sense.
So
1 inch was the standard shaft. We're not going to build a shaft smaller than 1 inch. It makes sense. 1 inch is where it should be.
Yeah.
But it's never a perfect world. We have to deal with the goods and bads of an older boat. I don't drive an older boat.
Yeah.
You could buy a brand new boat. It's thousands and thousands of dollars. Or you can run what you got and it works just fine.
Yeah. And he was saying that this new prop is it's a little smaller, right? 11 inch.
It's the same diameter.
Same diameter.
11 inch. You have an 11 inch here, and you're going to check clearance for me too. And you're going to mark that down on your clearance sheets. because we're just assuming, we're assuming that the prop came on the boat was correct, but that's a bad assumption.
Yeah.
It's a bicycle with gears, and when you get on a bicycle, if it's not in the right gear, you're going to change what makes you happy.
Yeah.
And that's what we're offering you.
Yeah.
But there's some things here now. We're going to talk about clearances as well, and then we're going to talk about what this prop did and can we do something better?
Right.
Because we don't have accurate data here.
Yeah, no doubt.
We will have accurate data if you do the job and do it here. And then we can have a conversation as, okay, what do you want it to do better?
Yeah.
And at your bicycle, we have
Yeah.
to make you happy. So
Well, the
And
things
the motor
I'm
one.
concerned about is maintaining the engine. You know,
Okay.
not overworking the engine. That's my number one concern.
Yeah.
I
That's
always
it.
say if you're worried about comfort or speed, you shouldn't be on a sailboat.
okay,
So we're not trying to burn out or do donuts.
good.
But so yeah, we're gonna get it all dialed in. Pretty
Well, this
excited.
is going to bring us up to our power curve. If you follow the power curve on your engine, you'll see that it makes 20 horsepower at 3,600.
Mhm.
When you're on the power curve right now, you're only reaching 3,000. You're
Right.
not reaching your top
Yeah,
power.
and it's like something I always wondered about. I was like, why in the world can I not? It felt like there was a governor or something. I'm like, what is? And I guess it was a mechanical governor.
Well, we're going to check too. We're going to check to make sure there is nothing. We're going to make sure the engine is getting full RPMs. We should be able to do it in neutral, and then we should be able to do it with this propeller.
Cool.
Now, if it stopped at 3,000 with this prop, we know something's...
Then it's something in the cabling or the tuning of the engine.
And we want to check that too, because if we leave something on the table, if we prop it and we find out later, oh, you know what, I had an extra 1 inch of cable, it wasn't opening the throttles all the way. Hey,
that changes this conversation.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome.
So everything has to be documented and checked.
Yeah.
And the goal here is to make you happy in the long run and make us happy. Because if you're happy, you tell other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody at the yard was saying he's a mad scientist. They said you bring him the gear ratio and your engine RPMs, and he tells you the magical
Well,
pitch number. And
Just 40 years of mistakes.
I tell you,
I've already been down this
that,
road.
boy.
That's why we're having this conversation of it would be easy to say, hey, this is going to be better, this is what you need.
Yeah.
But I also want you to say, hey, this is what I like.
Yeah.
And if I don't like it, certainly don't want to sell you a prop. Too many people sell you, I get that all the time. This is what the guy sold me, and I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's have a conversation. What do you want it to do? And it's your boat.
Yeah, and I'm completely ignorant on this conversation, so I'm excited to learn and to know all the ins and outs, because I want to know every single aspect of my boat's performance and mechanicals. So
Good.
I'm pretty
good.
stoked. So thanks for talking to us. Appreciate it.
No problem.
And
Anytime.
we're gonna get back to this refit in the rain. It looks like, unfortunately,
Is it raining?
it's starting to sprinkle.
All right.
We need it.
All right.
Daddy.
Daddy definitely wins on performance points.
Steady also weighs half as much as Ringo.
He's giving it away a
Yeah,
little
and
early in
form,
the game.
I like the arm.
Yeah, the arm is.
Yeah. Like the style points is,
Don't interfere! No interference! Interference!
but Ringo's casual coolness, and he's just Steve McQueening it.
Because he's like 3 times up.
Yeah. There you go. Everybody wins.
Everyone wins.
Okay.
Because it's a wishbone.
You win, you win.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. It helps us a lot.
Thanks again to all of our patrons. Your contributions help us get the boat ready for big things.
Until next time.
Right here. Right here.